there, this is Titular Podcast episode 351. Take off 9 meanings of one phrasal verb. You read English, you understand English, you've been learning for years, but when it's time to speak, your mind just freezes and the words don't come out. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. My name's Ola and this is Titular Podcast. I'm here to help you finally speak out loud. This isn't about your perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary. This is about your voice, your words, your real English. A plane can take off. You can take off your coat and you can take a few days off work, and your business can take off, your career can take off. Someone can be taken off the pitch during a football match. And yes, you can even take money off a prize. So what exactly is going on here? If you've ever learned a phrasal verb and thought, okay, I know what it means, but then I hear it in a completely different sentence and I'm lost, you're definitely not alone. That's the whole issue with phrasal verbs. They have more than one meaning. And that's exactly what we're going to look at in today's episode. We're going to unpack the different meanings, 9 different meanings of take off, but we're not going to learn them as a boring list of dictionary definitions. We're going to look at the situations where you'd actually hear and use them at work, while traveling, at home, in everyday conversations, and in sports. By the end of this episode, I want take off to feel like one familiar phrasal verb rather than 9 completely different expressions. So let's take off. Let's start with the meaning you probably hear most often when you travel. Number 1, when a plane leaves the ground and starts flying, that's when it takes off. And this is probably the easiest one to capture. The plane is on the runway, it moves faster and faster, and then it leaves the ground, and then we say the plane takes off. And you'll hear this constantly at airports and when people talk about flights. Our plane took off at 7:10. Or imagine you're texting someone during your flight. We're about to take off. We're about to take off. Number 2, to leave a place, especially quickly. This meaning is informal. If someone says, let's take off, they mean let's leave, let's go. Maybe you're at a party and it's getting late and you say, it's getting late, I think we should take off. Or perhaps you're on holiday and you've just finished your breakfast. No, maybe you finished your breakfast and it's the end of the day and you want to recall what you did on that day. And you say, we had breakfast and took off before the traffic got bad. Number 3, to become successful or popular very quickly. We use take off when something suddenly becomes successful, popular, or starts growing quickly. And it can be business, a product, idea, an app, a song, a video, or even someone's career. For example, the product really took off after the campaign. Or maybe somebody started a small business and you want to say that her business took off last year, or my career finally took off last year. The basic idea is something suddenly starts doing very well, and it's nice connection, I think, with the first meaning. A plane takes off and suddenly goes up in the air, and in the same way, I think a business or an idea can take off and suddenly start moving forward very quickly. Number 4, to take somebody off, to make someone stop playing or performing. Now we're using take somebody off, and this is particularly common in sports, in a football teams, right? So in a football team, for example, a football manager takes a player off, and the player leaves the pitch and another player usually comes on. For example, the coach took him off at halftime. You'll also hear it in other performances situation, an actor or a performer can be taken off a stage, although sports is probably the most common context you will hear. So imagine a player has been struggling with an injury and you want to say she was taken off after 20 minutes. Or, yeah, that's enough. Sports examples, mainly sports examples. So remember the difference. Take off, leave a place, leave the runway, right? Like the plane leaves the runway, it takes off. And take somebody off to make somebody leave. Like a football coach can make a player leave. Take a player off. Number 5, to remove something, especially clothing. This is another extremely common meaning. If you take off your coat, your shoes, your glasses, your hat, etc., you remove them. And here are some examples. I took off my jacket as soon as I got home. You can take your shoes off, right? So the example is take your shoes off here. And there's a very useful thing to remember, the opposite of take off. Take off your shoes and put on something comfy. Number 6, to have a period of time away from work. If you take a day off or take a few days off, you don't work during that time. I'm taking Friday off. Or we took 3 days off and went to Prague, for example. Notice that we usually talk about take a day off, take a week off, take some time off, rather than just take off, right? We always add something. This is very common in the workplace, of course. I'm going to take some time off next month. 7, to stop showing or broadcasting something. This one is especially useful when we're talking about TV programs, shows on streaming platforms, performances, or other things that are being presented to the public. If something is taken off, it is removed from the schedule. In other words, people will no longer be able to watch or see it as planned. The show was taken off after just 6 episodes for some reason. Or a theater production isn't selling enough tickets, so the production was taken off after a few weeks. So here, take something off doesn't mean physically removing something. It means removing it from a program or a schedule, but you can connect it with removing something, right? Number 8, to remove somebody from a job, a task, a position, or treatment. Here we have another very useful structure. Take somebody off something. It means that someone is removed from a particular role, responsibility, task, or again, treatment. Imagine a police officer is working on a sensitive investigation, but then the department decides to replace them. The officer was taken off the investigation for some reason. I don't know. Maybe he was connected with the case somehow. So he had to be taken off the investigation. Or imagine you're in hospital and you've been recovering from something and you've been receiving a particular medication. The doctor decides that you no longer need it. And you can say that they have taken me off the medication. They have taken me off the medication. Number 9, to reduce an amount from a price, score, or total. It's when we remove an amount from a total, and the most obvious example is money, of course. If a shop gives you a discount, they might take this amount off the price. For example, take €20 off the price. They took 20 euros off the original price. But we can use this in other ways too. And I'll show you it in a minute. One more example with shops. They took 20 euro off the price because it was slightly damaged. So you can ask them to take some amount off the price. And there's also a more figurative meaning, figurative use. That experience took 10 years of my life. Obviously, nobody has literally removed those years from my life. I'm just saying that something was so stressful or so frightening that it made me feel 10 years older. Now let's move on to the practical part. It's where you'll hear these 10 examples again in a slightly different way, in a slightly different order. But the goal is not just to recognize takeoff in the sentences, but say things out loud. This is the goal. It's always the goal. So let's go. I'm taking Friday off. Her business took off last year. Our plane took off at 7:10. The coach took him off at halftime. It's getting late. I think we should take off. The show was taken off after just 6 episodes. I took off my jacket as soon as I got home. The officer was taken off the investigation. That experience took 10 years of my life. They took 20 euros off the price because it was slightly damaged. Well done, you. Congrats on finishing this task. And before you go, before you leave, don't forget to grab your free worksheet for this episode at teacherola.com/351. And that's it for today's episode. I hope takeoff feels a little less confusing now and that you've found new expressions you can actually start using. Remember, understanding a phrase is one thing, but being able to use it naturally is another skill. And that's why you need to practice, make mistakes. Please don't be scared of making mistakes and give yourself opportunities to speak. And if you'd like more of that, come and join my VoiceTube group Conversations on WhatsApp. They're 5-week programs where you practice speaking, send your voice messages, and receive daily feedback from me. And we also get together every week and we have a chat. So if you're interested, go to teacherola.com/test, teacherola.com/test, and take the test. It'll help you find the right level and the group for you. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And above all, stay fearless, take care, and say it out loud. I love you, I believe in you, and I know you're ready to speak English. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you've been listening to Teacher Ola Podcast on YouTube. Thank you so much. Bye for now.